Good morning and welcome to Cover 2 Cook. We're on episode 148. And do we got some must-watch games in college football? We're going to talk about these games. That flag behind me, it's probably got the game of the year on its schedule. We're going to talk about that game as well. And then we got to move to the NFL. There's some good games in the NFL this weekend. Not great, but good games in the NFL. One of them will be a Monday night. We will talk about it on today's because it is a must-watch. And then we got to finish with, we're going to finish with what is his name's best bets? He has not earned his name on the best bets yet until he goes 4-0, which we're going to go this week. We're going to do that bets. Mr. Tim Cook is going to give his best bets, so let's get it started.
Yeah, I was going to do a vertical jump there. Thank you, Socks.
Travel been to Indiana, and did Cover 2 Cook get you a good hotel?
Indiana? No, I'm in Louisiana. I'm here for Mardi Gras.
I know that this might be hard, but I don't know how much you remember Friday night since we left you damn near when you fell asleep.
I got my belly full, man. I was like, I warm covers and warm. I was like, I could go to sleep right now.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Jack Dorsey.
Final answer?
Yes. All right.
This is going to be a long fucking day.
Welcome back to Cover 2 Cook. We're on episode 148. I'm here with Tim and Anthony. And boy, oh boy, we have an intense weekend ahead of us. A lot of ranked games, a lot of intense competition ahead of us. So let's get it started. Anthony, why don't you take me through your first must-watch game this weekend?
Yeah, it's going to be in that SEC. It's one of these teams that we're actually going to find out, can we trust Lane Kiffin? Number 5, Ole Miss versus number 9, Georgia. Going to Georgia. Now, I think this game determines on third down. Third down is going to be huge because Georgia allows opponents to convert 40% of the time on third down. Well, guess what Ole Miss does? They convert 51% on third downs. Ole Miss will want to throw the ball like crazy while Georgia wants to run the ball. I think the crowd is going to be a huge determining factor in this game, but also turnovers. Gunnar Stockton in that Trinidad, I think his name is, has only thrown one interception. So whatever team can get a turnover in this game is going to cause the momentum to go their way. I will say I don't know if I believe in Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. I know what Kirby's got. Whether he's clapping like this or he's out there coaching against one of these teams. I will say, Ole Miss beat Georgia last year 28-10. So they got a bad taste in their mouth. I will say, I think Georgia pulls this out. I think it's a close game. Georgia pulls it out because it's at home.
Interesting. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to go against the grain here. Ole Miss didn't hurt me before, so hopefully Ole Miss is in my favor this weekend. Tim, what do you think?
You haven't been betting long enough because Ole Miss they'll hurt you.
Yeah. Let me tell you, week 2 it did.
Yeah.
I think also you said something about the two quarterbacks. This Chambliss kid, he's not really been on the road and under this kind of environment, and this is going to be a true test for him. Can he, play well again? And I agree with you too. I'm not a believer in Lane Kiffin. I'm sorry, I'm not. Until he can win, Kirby Smart is the Bill Belichick of the NCAA. You go with him until he loses. He's got a great track record. Oh, Lane Kiffin does not.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets into the big games and just pukes all over himself, and the team pukes all over. The only thing that's going to go good for Ole Miss, they have a very good defense.
Yep.
Can that front four get to Gunnar Stockton? If they can get to him and create havoc, I think they can pull it off. You know what? What the heck? Ole Miss.
Oh,
I'm changing it. Nope.
In an upset.
Nope, I can't. I know the Ole Miss does not work well for Tim. I'm going to Georgia.
Well, I want to say this too, real quick. You talk about the Ford getting after Gunnar. If they can stop the run and make Gunnar have to throw the ball, that makes them one-dimensional in this game, and that's not what Georgia wants to run. I will say, you said Lane Kiffin, there's tiers in college football. It was Nick Saban before it was Kirby Smart. You didn't bet against Nick Saban. I don't care what it was. You didn't bet against him. It's Kirby now, but I feel like that shininess is kind of wearing off when you get beat by Notre Dame in the playoffs. And that's where it feels like he is beatable. Georgia finds a way to play really good ball at home. And if it was at Ole Miss, it's a whole different ball game. But since it's at Georgia, Lane Kiffin always reminds me of Brian Kelly. It's when the time comes to shine, it's when you're nowhere to be found. So
Okay. All right. Well, Tim, why don't you take us into your first must-watch?
Another Alabama. What is this? The fourth week in a row that they've had to play a top 20 team. They go against Tennessee this week at Tuscaloosa. Tennessee is for Tennessee. You got to be efficient in the pass game. That Joey Aguilar has got to get the ball down the field, and he cannot take any sacks. Tennessee cannot be one-dimensional. They have a great running attack, but I think that Aguilar is the key to this game. If he can stay in the pocket or even use his legs, because he can use his legs when they did against Georgia, I think they've got a shot at this. Tennessee, they got to find a run the ball. And also, too, this Aguilar has not been under the pressure or the hostile environment in Tuscaloosa. So that's going to be another deal. Tennessee crumbled 2 years ago at Tuscaloosa in the fourth quarter. Got to be able to communicate that Aguilar, that crowd's going to be loud. Aguilar, you've never experienced anything like it before. And this year, that'll be tough. For Alabama, exploit that Tennessee secondary. Their secondary is not very good at all. And I think Ty Simpson will exploit it. He has the last 3 weeks against very average secondaries in Vanderbilt and, Missouri. So if Alabama can create havoc like they did against Missouri and get the Joey Aguilar because Tennessee protects him very well, I think Alabama can win this. I got Alabama keep rolling. Roll Tide, baby. Roll Tide.
That's interesting because, I love these games. I know whether it's Georgia versus Tennessee or Alabama versus Tennessee, there's something about the atmosphere there that I love to watch. However, I think I'm going to roll with Tennessee here. I think Tennessee Orange is going to pull this one out. Go Vols. Anthony?
Yeah, I think you're strictly just going to bet everything that Tim doesn't say. And I don't disagree with the 0-4 record.
2 games in, that's where we're going with.
Yeah. I think, first off, I'll say I think Alabama wins this game. Here's why. Tennessee, they're relevant, and then they find a way to stop being relevant. Even last year when they went into the playoffs, go against Ohio State, it was like, watch out for this Tennessee. It's a high explosive offense. Some people blamed it on the cold, whatever. But then they just didn't show up. Ohio State obviously goes and wins the national championship. But, this is that game. If Tennessee wants to be the cream of the crop of the SEC, if they want to be mentioned in the same sentence as Georgia, Alabama, then you got to win these games. That's what Auburn did a while back ago when they would beat the Alabamas or beat the Georgias and get their names in the conversation. I think this is a great game for Tennessee to do that. I think Joey Aguilar is a good quarterback. I just think when you think of that Alabama defense and that Alabama crowd with them, it is such a suffocating stadium. I think Alabama wins this game. Another game that if it was somewhere else, I may go with the other team.
That's a true point. That's right. The Alabama fans are going to be absolutely insane. So, yeah, It's going to have to be loud, too. All right. Well, Anthony, why don't you take us into your second must-watch this weekend?
So this is the biggest game of the year for Notre Dame. This is Notre Dame versus USC, number 20 versus number 13. And I will say this right now. Every game is a must-win for Notre Dame, but it also is a must-win for USC. USC's got to win this game. They were just unranked last week. They beat a Michigan team. Now they're relevant back in the top 20. I think they should have been ranked the whole time. That's my own little opinion. Notre Dame's defense has taken a step forward since we saw them against Texas A&M, Miami, things like that. But I will tell you, they have a very big competition coming up because USC wants to throw the ball. I think they're second or third in the nation for amount of yards per game. This could be the last time that these teams play since USC's a bunch of crybabies that don't want to play Notre Dame anymore, ruin tradition, make college football what it is. No. It's all USC's fault. I don't care. But let's go down memory lane, okay?
Okay.
20 years ago, we had the Bush push, where Reggie Bush went behind Matt Leinart. Made me cry that night while he pushed Matt Leinart in. Now you think, what does that matter? Because in today's football, you can do that. But at the time, you couldn't do it, and the refs didn't have any balls to call it. No, I'm not going to get angry. Original green jersey of 1977 featured Joe Montana and a literal Trojan horse on the field. Will Fuller slapped hands with Adoree Jackson before beating him on a 75-yard touchdown on the first play. Yeah, that's that Notre Dame shit for you right there. Joe Theismann threw for 526 yards in this type of rivalry. And then finally, Manti Te'o. making that goal line stand that would put Notre Dame in a national championship game, which we did know they kind of got their butts spanked against Alabama. But I just think this is a game where Notre Dame, you got to win. And I love Marcus Freeman. And I just think they got it. I think the way the defense is stepping up, CJ Carr is like low-key kind of having a Heisman year. Oh, my God. Did I just say that? Yes. I think CJ Carr is playing a great season so far. But let's see what you play against these boys. Because you're going to need to take a step up. Love and Price are going to have to be huge factors in this game. They have to control the game. Notre Dame fans will show up for this game. I like Notre Dame. I think USC is going to take their ball and go home after this ass whooping that we're going to put on them. They won't want to play us again and ruin the rivalry. Notre Dame wins this game.
I agree. I think Notre Dame wins this game, but being
you do.
a fan for a handful of years now, I know I can't go in confident. They have to show up. They have to perform all the way through all 4 quarters. We know that about Notre Dame. So we got to be careful of that. But I will say it's kind of a sad story to hear that, like, this could be the last matchup. There's a lot of history here. It's not just because it's like we're Notre Dame fans, but there's a lot of history here in general for college football. So that would be pretty upsetting if this truly is the last game. So Tim, what are your thoughts on this game?
I think the key is they got to get to Maeva. They've got to get to him and put pressure on him and make him throw, make him have the worst game of his career, contain him because he can run the ball and but he also can. They've got to get to him because if they don't, and he can hit receivers, it could be like a 45-42 game. I like USC in this game. I think they're going to beat Notre Dame. Just kidding.
I was about to be like, dude, you're done. You're done.
No, I think it's going to be Notre Dame, but I could see this being another Texas A&M game where it comes down to the end. I really do. I think they could score. I think they could score on Notre Dame's defense.
Honestly, this game reminds me of Caleb Williams' senior year when he came into Notre Dame and Notre Dame's defensive package and thing like that threw them completely for the loop. I believe, and this is why USC doesn't want USC is going to use the excuse, well, we're in the Big Ten now, so we got all these good games, so we don't want to schedule Notre Dame anymore. Well, if you win, it makes you look good because Notre Dame's obviously been relevant recently. But it always feels like Notre Dame's coaches do better than USC coaches, whether it's Lincoln Riley and Marcus Freeman or whatever. We out-scheme them for these games. We have to do that for this because when we look at talent on board, our DBs are good, but their wide receivers are really good. So if we do not play or get into good blitz packages when it's time to, or if we look like we ever did in those first 2 games, USC they'll run it right down our throat. They will make it look bad, and then they'll say, and we're done playing because now we won. I think Notre Dame wins this game because I think Notre Dame knows where USC still feels like there's a lot of year left, where Notre Dame feels every week is the final game. Because if they lose, the year's over.
Yep.
Exactly.
Well, you know what, Anthony? This could not be the last game because once Notre Dame joins the Big Ten, they'll have to play each other.
Nah, they ain't going to join the Big Ten. As cool as that would be.
When they join the Big Ten. I mean, when they join. It's not if, when they join the Big Ten.
It would be so cool if they did. I will say if Notre Dame's going to join a conference, it's going to be the ACC just because of the package they did with that COVID year, but plus the basketball, I believe, is ACC. The only thing that's Big Ten is hockey, but that's also because hockey's got like different conferences. But no, as much as I would love it, coming from the Midwest, getting to go to a Wisconsin Notre Dame game would be awesome. Go to U of I Notre Dame would be awesome. Northwestern, but no, you're going to have to go down to Clemson and stuff like that to see good games.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right, Tim, why don't you take us into your second must-watch game this weekend?
This is a very interesting game, I think. LSU and Vanderbilt. Both teams need a victory as they both have 1 loss in the SEC. For LSU, Nussmeier, got to be more consistent, my man. If you want to go to the next level, and I'm talking the NFL, you've got to be more consistent. You have been very inconsistent all year. He only has 9 touchdowns, but 5 interceptions this year. That's not going to happen. That's not going to cut it. He's been sacked 7 times already, too, as well. That's not cutting it. Got to cut down on the turnovers. LSU had two turnovers inside the red zone, inside the 5-yard line last week. And then they had a kick a field goal late when they had the ball first and goal at the 1.
Yeah.
You got to punch it in against this Vanderbilt team because they'll run you right out of the building. They all struggle for Vanderbilt, convert on 3rd downs. You've been really good all year until you played a good team in Alabama. You've got to start. You got to get back to what you're coming off this bye. You've got to convert on the third downs. Vanderbilt's got to get the running game going. Alexander Young has to get things going. Also, they hope to catch LSU napping because guess who they have next weekend?
Alabama.
A&M.
Oh, Texas A&M.
Yes, next weekend. Vanderbilt Stephen has to play better on third downs to get off the field. But with LSU, that may not be a problem because the way Nussmeyer's been playing, who knows? I'm going to go with Vanderbilt in this game by this much.
Yep.
So I have a question because where is it and what time is it?
Vanderbilt, 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is an early game.
Okay, so it's a home game for Vandy. If it was a late night at LSU, that changes everything for me. But I'm leaning towards Vanderbilt here too. I think they have this. And if it's a home game for them, I think they have the fans on their side too. The atmosphere does take a factor in games like this. Anthony, what do you think?
I think Vanderbilt's Super Bowl was the Alabama game. I truly believe them being ranked at 17 is still pretty high for what they are, their situation. I think LSU wins this game. I know Garrett Nussmeier, and let's just take a step back. All the Heisman, preseason Heismans, have been nothing but Aller's done for the year. Cade Klubnik's possibly not playing this week. Garrett Nussmeier is supposed to be a number one pick, and he's got almost many interceptions as he does touchdowns this year. But I think this is a game that makes it better for next week. I think LSU wins this game to lead us into Texas A&M, where Brian Kelly gets a belt to his ass like every year he does from one team. I do think that LSU finds a way to win this game. I will say I'm not into the whole betting world, but 2.5 for Vanderbilt is a lot of points. I feel like that game is a pick 'em. And I think when you look at it, I wouldn't trust taking Vanderbilt because a field goal can be the difference. I think LSU wins this one, and it could be one at the last second.
Yeah, so you're both saying really close games here. I would agree with that too. Well, that is a really intense 4 must-watch games. All eight of these teams are ranked teams. So this will be a very intense weekend to watch. Now, Anthony mentioned he has some honorable mentions he wanted to run through, so please take the floor.
Yes, real quick though. Rant is, if you are an NFL fan and not a college football fan, then you don't like football. Because I will tell you right now, I'm about to name honorable mentions for college football. There is no honorable mentions in the NFL this week. NFL is very transparent on who's good and who's not. Some honorable mentions. Friday night, you just get off a work week. You want some good football? Well, we got some. Louisville versus Miami and Nebraska and Minnesota. Now, Nebraska's in the top 25 and Miami's number 2. Two teams that could find a way of losing before we even get into the Saturday showdown. Other games on Saturday to keep an eye out for. Ohio State and Wisconsin. Nah, I'm just kidding. Ohio State's going to kill them. Texas Tech and Arizona State. Arizona State's not played to the potential. Who knows? Texas Tech's low-key. Keep an eye on that. And then at the end, 2 of the night, we have Utah and BYU. It is number 23 versus number 15. Not a must-watch game because it is a late night for a lot of people, but a good way to finish your night in case we have some big upsets. And then Penn State plays – who do they play this week? Iowa. That's an honorable mention too.
Yeah, Tim, please talk to us more about this Iowa game.
I think that's going to be the key. I think the honorable mention is Penn State, Iowa. Let's see how this team still has good players. They have a good running back in Singleton. How does this team respond after their coach gets fired on Sunday? Let's see. This is still a good team. They got a good defense. They've got a good running attack. Now they're going to be going, a backup quarterback. And Iowa's defense is usually pretty good, stout. So I mean, their offense is not very good. They don't have. If they ever got a decent quarterback, maybe they could make a run in the Big Ten. But they don't have a decent quarterback. So I mean, but that's I'm interested in this game to see if Penn State can bounce back after all the turmoil that's happened.
No, I totally agree with that. I feel like Penn State has a lot of they have shoes to fill. Like, you're missing a coach. Like, that's a big responsibility there. But come on now, Iowa just had a huge high-scoring weekend.
Yeah, they just scored 45 points or some shit against Wisconsin.
Oh, I thought it was Wisconsin Green Bay they played. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I thought it was a D3 team. I'm sorry. I got confused.
Yeah, Wisconsin's gonna be lucky if they win 4 games this year.
They're looking to fire Luke Fickell in Wisconsin.
Now, I think, yep, he's another one on the hot seat for sure.
Hmm. All right. Well, Anthony, did you have any interesting games in the honorable mentions you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean the BYU and Utah game will be a good game. Obviously, it's the whole whatever like isn't there like a war or whatever they call that one? It's like the Mormons versus whatever. I think that'll be a good game. It's they call it Holy War, I think it is or whatever.
Oh,
Okay.
But when you look at that game, I think BYU being 6-0 and Utah being 5-1, they're both good ranked. I just don't trust that conference. So like when we talk about must watch, is this a team? Either one of these teams, there's not going to be a team I'm going to be talking about college playoff time being like, watch out for them. They just beat up on each other in the regular season. So when it comes time to play in they're just nowhere to be found.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I agree with that too. Not two teams I was expecting to even be ranked, but okay, you got game.
Yeah.
Let's see it. All right, well, now let's move over to the NFL. And if Anthony just said before, there isn't that many must watch, but there's some good games to watch. So, Tim, why don't you run us through your first good game, interesting game this weekend?
I anytime you got division rivals, I think that they're good games.
Yeah.
When you get the Bears versus the Packers, you get the Minnesota versus Green Bay, whatever. When you get division foes going against each other, I think this is a interesting game. And I think one of them is Washington and Dallas. Now people might think, well, Dallas got beat by the Panthers last week. Well, Washington got beat by the Bears. So I mean, that could wash. That could be a wash. Anyway, for Washington, get Jane Daniels going early because he had his worst pass. He's going up against the worst pass defense in the NFL. I mean, he should have a heyday in this game. Get Bill going. Got to get Bill going. I don't know what his real name is, but open up for some passes. The offensive line for Washington got to block better for Jane Daniels. He was getting pressured against the Bears all night Monday night. And, they had the 3 turnovers. And you got to cut down on the turnovers, Washington. If, you had 3 turnovers, that's not good. So I think for Dallas, create the turnovers. You did good last week with Carolina. Keep going with that. Of course, you still lost. Washington committed 3 turnovers. Got to get Javonte going early and often. He needs to return to like he's been doing the last few weeks. Get to Daniels. He was sacked 3 times. The Bears sacked him 3 times last week. Kind of let him sit in the pocket. You let him sit in the pocket, let him throw all day. I don't know if McLaurin is even playing this week. I still think he might be out. So, and the X factor is CeeDee Lamb. If he suits up and gives Dak another person to throw to, not only with Pickens, this could be an interesting game. For me to pick this game, good God. You know what? I'd like to pick the over in this game because I think there's going to be a lot of scoring. I think Washington bounces back and beats Dallas at Dallas.
Interesting. I'm going to go for the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Oh, wait, no, that's not the team.
It's a team for some people.
Yeah.
If CD does play, I think that makes it a game changer. Definitely like another threat out there, and hopefully he's completely healthy. So I'm saying CD's playing and the Cowboys. Anthony.
Yeah, I think when you look at this game, we don't know what CD's going to bring to the high ankle sprain is an injury that honestly it's going to be for the rest of the year with him. There's going to be plays where he's sitting out just because of the injury weeks to come. I was surprised that they're bringing him back as soon as he was. I thought kind of Jerry Jones was blowing smoke up our butts, being like, oh, he'll be back. And then he started practicing, and it was like, okay, like I could be a little bit of a diversion in this whole situation. On the other side, Washington wins against the Bears if it doesn't rain. If it's a regular game, Washington wins this game. They were being able to throw the ball when they wanted to. It's when that rain got involved and the ball got slippery, they decided to put that on the floor or on the field. That caused the Bears to get their last-second field goal to win the game. I like the Washington Commanders, and I hope Jane Daniels throws for 7,000 yards in this game so I can win fantasy.
I'm sure you would appreciate that. All right, Anthony. Well, why don't you take me into your good, interesting game this weekend?
Yeah, so this is the 8:30 London game. It's the Los Angeles Rams versus Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, I did hear a little joke being said that the NFL now, instead of making Thursday night games being bad, we'll just send bad games to London because we just saw Denver and the Jets look like absolute trash. We've seen a Vikings team for the past 2 weeks that you're like, oh, that's not the Vikings team I remember. So what team's going to show up here? The Rams. Who's going to step up while Puka's out? Puka's now got that ankle injury. Is this Devontae Adams now? Is there another wide receiver that we're not aware of yet that will now become a household name while Puka's out? Can that defense be as dominant as it was last week? And I think it had 19 fantasy points. It was a great defense, but the week before it didn't do crap on a Thursday night against San Francisco. They have to be better consistent in this game. Jacksonville likes to run or throw the ball. Can they get turnovers on that way? Other side, can the Rams rely on the run? They rank 18th with a 4.3 yards per rush. Kyren Williams has to be involved in this. And don't fumble it at the 1 yard line, you dummy. So at the same time, what do the Jags need to do to win this game? Well, can the defense get turnovers? They're +8. Actually, they're number 1 in the league for +8 turnover differential. If they can get after Stafford and get some turnovers in, that'll change the momentum. They always say the Jags, this is like a home game for them because of all the ties that the owner has in London and things like that. So if they can get the crowd involved, the crowd's just like, they just love to be there, let's be honest. And then can they score when they get in the red zone? Only converting 55% of the time. Jaguars have to score touchdowns, not field goals, touchdowns. And Brian Thomas Jr., right? Is that the one?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yep.
He just feels like there hasn't been that game yet where we're like, oh my gosh, yeah, that was the guy from last year. We've all been waiting for that. Can that be that game? And the final thing for the Jags is, can this offense just start being damn consistent? It is so up and down with Trevor Lawrence. There's sometimes where he's running for his life, and it's like, yeah, it's the Clemson Trevor Lawrence that we remember. And then there's times where you're like, well, how did he go number 1? Like, I could throw a better ball than that. That's crazy. So if that offense can get consistent, I like in this game. It's an 8:30 game. Great game to start our Sunday off. But I like the Rams. I think the Rams and that NFC is just better. I think the Rams win this game, and I would say 6 to 7 points they win by this game.
I hope Trevor Lawrence can stay on his feet. I hope he doesn't fumble not fumble, but like fall and then fall into the end zone. So,
it works for him.
So I'm rooting for the Jags here. I'm hoping they utilize Travis Hunter to the fullest and he gets to play his game. Tim, what do you think?
I think the key is going to be Kyren Williams. I think they're going to lean heavy. Without Nakua, I think they're going to lean heavy on him. Heavy. More than usual. And, oh, wait a minute. Anthony, I just got a word. The Rams just traded for Cooper Kupp. I think he's coming back.
Yeah, coming back.
I think just for this game only. Yes. Yeah, just for this game only. Okay, so I like Cooper Kupp. No, I'm just kidding.
I bet they're sitting there
wishing. They're going to
wishing.
have to lean on him. They're going to have to lean. And we got to see more out of Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he plays really good. They beat the Chiefs 2 weeks ago, and then last week they just threw an egg up there. It's just like he's not consistent. I've seen some balls he's throwing. They're like lame ducks out there. I mean, they're just wobblers. And another thing too is Travis Hunter. Where's he been? I mean, he's just. I think they're going to eventually have to pick one side for that kid.
Yeah,
it's either the offense or the defense. But Etienne is inconsistent. That whole offense is inconsistent. They got to get Brian Thomas Jr., like you said, going. But that defense is really good for the Jaguars.
Yeah.
I will not pick this game because this will be Blank's best bet.
Oh, nice. And I will say this too. You said Cooper Kupp. I definitely bet they're sitting there being like, damn it. Because when they had the Devontae, because they got Devontae after Cooper Kupp. But like if they would have had that trio plus Stafford having the year he's having right now, it opens up the running attack. And Blake Corum, Kyren Williams is a good, like, definitely got to run the ball. But Blake Corum can run the ball. He's kind of like a Temu version of Cam Scatterbo. He likes to run hard and things like that. So keep an eye on that as well.
Nice analogy there. Nice.
Temu edition.
Temu edition.
All right, Taylor, why don't you take us into your next interesting game this Sunday?
I think this is going to be actually a really good game. Indianapolis goes out to L.A. again and plays the Chargers this time instead of the Rams. For the Colts, Daniel Jones, keep playing like you have all year. That offensive line has kept you upright. Keep doing it. That offensive line is with that Nelson kid from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I mean, they've, make good decisions, get the ball to Jonathan Taylor and get the hell out of the way. Just get the hell out of the way because he's had a monster year so far. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. But Daniel Jones has thrown for over 1,500 yards and 6 touchdowns and just 3 interceptions for the year, which is really good. The offensive line has did a solid job because this has been a tough one because this is going to be a good Chargers defense. Keep getting the ball to Tyler Warren. I think that's another deal, too. Get the ball to Tyler Warren. It's been working all year for you, Daniel Jones. That's your outlet. He had a monster game last week. Keep getting that because he leads the NFL in tight ends and yards and receptions. For the Chargers, Justin Herbert, just keep doing what you're doing. That play that you had last week against Miami was, you get the ball to Ladd McConkey. On defense, wreak havoc on that offensive line. I know that's going to be tough, but you've got to get to Daniel Jones. Make him throw errant passes. Make him throw on the run. If the Colts, if you got the Colts, and here's the deal too, don't do Chargers. Don't do like you did against Miami last week. You had them beat, and then you let them back in the game, and then you had to have a miracle throw down there and a late field goal to beat Miami. Well, I'm guarantee you right now, Chargers, you can't do that against Indianapolis. You'll get beat. This is the big game for both teams. I think the winner of this game could decide the top of the AFC playoff picture and who may get, say, maybe number 1 seed come playoff time.
Yeah, not even close. Yeah, no.
Hey, I tell you right now, with Buffalo struggling and Pittsburgh, who knows what you're going to get with Pittsburgh? Okay, yeah, they're 4-1 right now. They play tonight, which this taping will be on Friday. How long is Aaron Rodgers going to be able to keep up with this? And Buffalo's struggling right now. If you can pad that lead, whoever gets out in front of this, I don't know.
Yeah, but what you said, the Chargers.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of these two teams, whoever wins this game.
Yeah, I think but the culture with the Texans and them.
Yeah, well, they've got, what's the Texans record? 3-3, 2-4?
Correct, but they're not in the, yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I just think I think the Chiefs are going to win that division now. I think Denver and Chiefs are the competition. I think Chargers are out on this game. Like, when you look at this, I think after this game, we'll talk about Daniel Jones being the MVP. I think that's what we're going to see after this game. Tyler Warren has been absolutely great for them. I definitely agree. But when you look at these divisions, the Colts they could run away with this division. They literally could run away with it. And I think the Chargers on the other side looked like they were going to run away with it. And then they came down to reality. And now we're realizing it's a Denver-Kansas City fight to the end. So
I'm surprised you're putting Denver in that mix.
I'm just doing it for him. I don't think they're going to. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, I'll tell you what, they get that off. Hey, if they get that offense going with that defense, I've seen a 2000 Baltimore Ravens team win a Super Bowl with a great defense and a
don't even put that defense. Shut up.
2015, Peyton Manning was the greatest quarterback, and that defense is pretty good.
Yeah, but you're talking about the Denver's defense against the 2001 Baltimore Ravens. They don't even have a linebacker that's even close to Ray Lewis. They don't even have a safety close to Ed Reed on that one. No,
Surtain's not there.
He's a corner. Let's learn football today. He's a corner. Come on now.
Oh, it's football 101. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jesus. But I think who wins this game? I think Colts win this one, and I think it's a blowout. And we'll be done talking about the Chargers and that division after this week.
Yeah, I definitely think it'll be the test for the Chargers. Like they had Miami, they let them back in, and then they had to scramble to get those last points. And I was talking well about them, but I do think this will be the true test, whether they have it or they don't. But I do think Indiana is going to take away this one. So that's who I'm picking too, is Indiana.
Oh, I didn't even get to pick the game because we got so rattled over it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Chargers. I'm going against both of you. I think Mr. Herbert makes another drive down the field. Last second, Mr. Kicker, or what the heck's his name? Kicker, whatever his name is. He makes the game-winning field goal, 30-27, Chargers.
Yeah. People can start fast-forwarding when he starts speaking. That's crazy. That's crazy. That ain't happening. Watch it on Sunday. I'm going to have to back. All right, Chargers.
All right. Well, I'll call you out. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I will.
Anthony, why don't you take us into your second interesting game this weekend?
Yeah, so we could actually talk about this on the next podcast, but this is a Monday night game, right? I think this is there's 2 Monday night games. I freaking hate when they do this shit because one's on ABC and one's on ESPN. If you have Sling, the only way you can watch them, but whatever, that's besides the point. It's Tampa Bay versus Detroit Lions. Now, we've been talking about the Detroit Lions. Both these teams have been the top 5 power rankings. Kind of talking about number ones. Wasn't Detroit last week number 1? This week's Tampa. Both teams are having serious injuries. What does Tampa Bay got to do to win this game? Can the offense still keep moving forward with all these injuries? I believe in Baker Mayfield. I also said out there that Sterling Shepard might be a guy to kind of watch out for. Tez Johnson, Cameron Johnson. You have Rashard White in the backfield with Sean Tucker. Can the defense slow down the two-headed monster of Detroit? That two-headed monster of Detroit is scary. If they can get that running attack going, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, can Tampa Bay slow it down? Well, you know what? They got Vita Vea or whatever the hell his name is. You don't move a guy like that, okay? No. That's a wall. So good luck with that. Tampa Bay has been great with these one-score games, right? They've been able to win these ones. Does the well eventually go dry for them? I think in this game it's going to come down to a one-score drive. And does Baker Mayfield put it? I do think he does. But what do the Lions need to do to win this game? Can the offense be better than it was against the Chiefs? Obviously, I have been hearing so many people talk about the Jared Goff touchdown catch getting reviewed, and the NFL's whole thing was you can't review to change the outcome of a penalty or a thing like that, right? So then why were they throwing a penalty after reviewing it? That's not a call. We did find out later that Texas Tech did a thing and found out Chiefs get every call they pretty much want anymore these days. Don't know if that's real or if that was like a little fabrication, but can that offense be better than it was against the Chiefs? Because they did not look that good. Defense has so many injuries, but can they capitalize on the offense? Tampa's offense having as many injuries. That's where can you slow down Baker, right? Do you make them one-dimensional with the passing attack? Stop the run so that they have to throw to these wide receivers that are not household names. And then what defense are we getting from Detroit this week? Are we going to get a good defense? Or are we going to get a subpar defense? One that's literally, if you watch a play from the Chiefs game, there's 2 guys running backwards, like just running, no clue where they're going. The Detroit defense has to be better in this game because Tampa will beat them. I like this game to be a really good Monday night game, but I like Tampa Bay winning this game.
It's kind of a bummer they're not the sole game because I feel like this has a lot of competition and the real test of who's the number 1 dog right now. Like, it should be the sole game of the night. That's not fair that it's splitting it with somebody else.
Yep.
But I agree. This is going to be down to the end, down to the nail. And Baker's got that experience to pull it out. I'm going Tampa Bay. Go Baker. Tim, what do you think?
I think the key is going to be, can Detroit's defense get to Baker? Can they get to him? They played 3 years ago in a divisional game, and this game went right down to the wire. They didn't. Tampa Bay ended up losing, but this was a good game. I think it's going to be like you said, what defense shows up against Baker, and the secondary for Tampa Bay is not real good. Yeah. So I think also too, Laporta has been pretty much non-existent this year whatsoever. If you had him on fantasy this year, you're probably pulling your head out like, I've got to bench this guy because he is not getting the ball to him whatsoever. They're leaning more on the run with Gibbs and Montgomery. Yeah. I don't know. But I will tell you the winner of this game later in the episode.
And I will say this too, Lisa. I definitely agree this should be a standalone game. This should be a Sunday night game. I don't think it should be Monday night. I think it should be Sunday night. When we get an all-day great full games, and then we come like, okay, hey, we got to work tomorrow, but keep me up for a reason. That's this game, right? Mm-hmm. Or a Monday night game when you do have it. Like, the other problem when they do these 2 Monday night games, it messes with us in fantasy. Because there's so many players that play in this Monday night, so that on Sunday you don't even care to watch the morning games because you got guys playing. Like my fantasy last week, the person I played against had 5 people playing out of the 10 on either Sunday night or Monday night. So they could have literally just went and did something on Sunday and came back and were like, oh, well, here it is. And you either are done or you're winning by the time you're done by Sunday.
Yeah. Well,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
One good thing about it is because the second game don't start till 9:00. Do you know that?
Yeah, I mean it's a later game.
Seattle and the Raiders, is it, or I don't know who it is, but it's out in Seattle. So I mean, we're going to be able to see a majority of this game, probably until halftime. maybe start of the third quarter before the second game even starts. So that's kind of I'm kind of glad that it isn't. That's not a 6 o'clock and a 7:15 game like it was last week. Because then that would screw with a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'll tell you right now, I go to bed at a reasonable time. I will not be up for that 9 o'clock game for Seattle and Houston. It's Seattle and Houston. No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, no, I just want to watch the fourth quarter of the Lions in Tampa Bay. I want to watch the full 4. All right, well, you kind of teased us with it. Let's talk about fantasy this weekend. Are we confident? Are we so-so? How much did we get off the waiver wire? Anthony, what did the Wizard do this weekend?
Yeah, I picked up a defense. Picked up Chicago Bears defense. Dropped LA. I know people are like, what are you talking about? I think the international games, the defense is always just kind of hit or miss on those. I like the Chicago Bears because of the record going forward. I picked up Sterling Shepard. I don't even know if I'll play him because I just got so many people that are, kind of going off that I don't even know if he'll be in the roster. CeeDee Lamb, I'm not playing him this week because I don't know what to expect from him. Let's see a good week, and then I'll put him in going forward. But otherwise, yeah, I feel good. I'm going against a good friend of mine in the league, so he likes to run, he likes to talk, and I like to talk, so we'll have fun with this one.
Especially when he hears you're just going to bench Sterling Shepard.
I don't need him. You know what I mean? That's how good. I don't know.
I don't need him.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Well, Tim,
Number 1,
how are
baby.
you feeling?
Well, one thing this week, Baltimore's on a bye, so Derrick Henry, after having a decent week last week, now he comes on a bye, and going forward, I think he's going to be all right because the schedule lightens up a little bit. But yeah, I did pick up Sterling Shepard. I picked up Ted Johnson. I picked up this person. I picked up that person. I picked up a lot of players because I'm not real confident in the players that I have right now. Right now, he's predicted to be 106. I'm supposed to be 100. So he's got a slight edge over me. I like to beat him because he is in like 4 or 5 fantasies. He's a professional gambler.
Yeah.
During the day. So this is one I wouldn't mind winning, but I don't know. I have a weird feeling this year I'm going to go. There's 14 games. I'll probably go 7-7 this year because it's just the way it is. I'll win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win barely, and then lose by a lot. It's back and forth, and I just Jane Daniels got to have a monster game.
And your team's tough too because your first 2 picks have been pretty much bust. Yes. I mean, Malik Neighbors going down as early as he did, and Derrick Henry not playing the way he has. That's tough. That's just. Yeah. But that's on the manager. So I don't know.
Exactly. You got to make changes.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like he took some advice from the Wizards, so maybe you all did too.
I see what the Wizards got first, and then.
Yep. And watch it'll be a 0-point guy. And I'm like, yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy. Thank you.
Well, since Tim needs to redeem himself on bets, we are now striking the name. He has to earn his name back. We're going with no name bets. Let's hear what the tease is all about.
Yeah, because it hasn't been good. 0-4 last week. We're hoping to rebound. First game, we're going to go out west. UNLV and Boise State. UNLV has covered the spread in each of the last 4 road games against non-AP ranked teams, while Boise State has won each of the last 14 games against conference opponents, which I didn't know they were even conference opponents. Big West? What? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, UNLV could have a hard time against tougher opponents than Boise State, but Boise State defense is terrible, giving up 25 or more points 4 of the last 6 games, and getting 3 points. I love for a team that's UNLV. Did you know that UNLV is 6-0 this year?
Irrelevant.
I did not know that. I was like, wow, they're undefeated. And they're not even getting any kind of love. I can't believe that. So you know what? Give me the points. I'll take UNLV in 11.5.
Oh yeah.
Oregon and Rutgers. Okay, let's go with this. Oregon has covered 7 of the last 10 games as double-digit favorites. Rutgers is 2, 10, and 3 against the spread in the last 15 games as double-digit underdogs. If teams like Iowa, Minnesota, and Washington can line up Rutgers, why not Oregon? They're coming off of that bad loss against Indiana. They're going on the road, got to go cross country. This could get out of hand early for Rutgers, I think. And this is a bounce back game. Give me Oregon on the road, and I'll give you, I think it's 16.5 points. It's a lot of points, but I think Rutgers is not very good. Let's go to the NFL. Buccaneers and Lions. The Lions have covered the spread in each of the last 9 home games following a loss, and the Bucs have failed to cover the spread in 6 of the last 7 road games before a division game. So they must be playing in, I don't know who they're playing, but it must be in their division. The Lions are a lot better at home than they are on the road. And this offense can exploit Tampa Bay's bad defense, especially the secondary. I think Detroit's defense makes a few more plays than Tampa does. So give me the Lions, and I'll give you the 5.5 points. Taking the Lions.
Wow.
Taking the Lions. Did you hear that? Took the Lions.
You don't have a name right now, so just keep going.
That's right. So it could be anything. The last game, we're going to go with the Sunday morning game out over across the pond. Rams and Jaguars. The Rams have won each of the last 7 games against AFC opponents, while the Jaguars have covered the spread 4 of the last 5 games as underdogs at neutral site games, which is usually London. The Jaguars are a surprise team so far, and they laid an egg last week. The Rams, without Nakua, is still a pretty good team. No, this still wasn't Cooper Kupp. And the Rams are 11-4 against the spread in the last 15 games when favored by 3 points or less. I like the Rams given the 2.5.
I agree with that.
So them is the no-name best bets.
There it is. I think this is a 4-0 week. I will say the Oregon one's a lot of points. It's a lot of points, and a team that didn't do very well against Indiana. But, hey, 4-0. That's all we need. So, all right. Well, that is episode 148. We talked about the great college football that'll be on Saturday. Tune in on that. Just watch all day. Sit there, watch College Game Day, watch the 11 o'clock, 3 o'clock at night games. And then we move on to an 8 o'clock Sunday game. And then we have good games all the way going into Monday. But we will record on Sunday to talk about what we have for the recaps of Saturday and Sunday and how we're doing on fantasy. Good luck this weekend. Enjoy it because the NFL and college football, it'll come to an end eventually, just not this week. So enjoy it while we can. Have a great weekend. If you like what we do, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and all that. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.